Is in fact millions of people under some sort of winter weather alert, whether it's a winter weather advisory, winter storm watch, or winter storm warnings. We're looking from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan to the Ohio Valley all the way down to the Mexican border in Texas. This is the visible satellite. This shows us the reflected light back up into space, and that reflected light hits clouds, the moving motion right here, that cold air associated with the system that's coming through here, helping to keep the snow on the ground as well. That's why they see white through here. If it's not moving, it is snow on the ground, reflecting that light back up into space to the visible satellite. The blue now is the radar imagery showing where the radar is detecting some snow coming down. And from Louisville to Cincinnati, Columbus to Cleveland, Detroit, some snow flying at the moment. Paducah and into southern Missouri, seeing that snowfall. This is the future radar. This shows us where the snow is going to be according to one computer model through time. Here's 9:30 this evening, and then getting into the overnight hours, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, upstate New York, snow, and then Tennessee, eventually into parts of eastern Tennessee by morning. The overall snowfall, big area, 1 to 3 inches of snow, and some spots 3 to 5 inches a possibility, and there's even a few purple areas where 5 to 8 inches of snow can be expected here across the Northeast. And again, the snowfall is expected with this, the extent of this, from Maine all the way down to parts of Texas. So we're looking at the possibility for some snow to start flying across parts of Texas, including Dallas. And in Dallas, we're seeing cloudy skies, feeling temperatures in the 50s right now, but we're going to be also on snowflake patrol here pretty soon, and a closer look at what's expected in the south. It is a wintry mess that's on the way. Let's go to the lab right now with storm specialist Dr. Erica Navarro.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. We've got a slew of watches and warnings here across portions of the south, as we will see that cold front and that wintry weather reaching as far south as potentially San Antonio tomorrow morning. Here's a look at the area that's covered. We're going to focus in on areas like Texas and Louisiana, because we could be setting up here for a freezing rain threat, as well as a couple inches of snow in some of these areas, depending on how cold these surface temperatures can get and stay throughout the day tomorrow. Here's a look at that visible satellite imagery showing you where the cold front is. You can see that air advancing from north to the south. So that's how things are going to set up and play out throughout the day tomorrow. That cold air is going to be moving down from the north, and it's going to encounter this very warm and moist air that's flowing off the Gulf of Mexico. At that boundary between that warm and cold air, that clash of temperature is where we're going to be setting up for that threat of a mix of wintry precipitation. That warm air rides up and over the colder air near the surface, so any rain that falls through that layer can freeze on contact here down below where that shallow layer of cold air has moved in. So this is the area that we're watching, in particular places along I-10 here east of San Antonio towards Houston. We could be seeing some ice, as well as potentially here heading north from San Antonio on the way to Austin. We could be seeing as much as 1/10 of an inch, maybe even up to 1/4 of an inch or higher locally in some areas, but 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch is not out of the question here in the morning tomorrow. The other areas that we're watching for some snowfall here is going to be across the northern part of Louisiana. Shreveport, one area we could be seeing 2 to 3 inches tomorrow by the time this event moves out. Again, it's likely going to be in the morning and then heading into the afternoon hours that we're going to be seeing our greatest threat for winter weather. And notice it does extend all the way up into places like western and central Tennessee. So again, this is not a huge as far as the amount, but in these areas, any little bit is enough to cause some travel headaches. So make sure you leave extra time on the road this morning, maybe even head out late to work tomorrow if you have the potential to do that, because again, these temperatures are dropping very rapidly, and we're setting up for that ice threat here at about the time of the commute hours. So Jennifer, this is one of those things that we have to watch very carefully.
Well, we're also going to be watching this system, Dr. Navarro, up in the Northeast, and it's going to impact places like Pittsburgh, New York City, Norfolk, Virginia, and up into Boston. We are dealing with some snow right now into Pittsburgh from the storm, but eventually it's going to come closer to the I-95 corridor. Let's talk a little bit about eastern Massachusetts. We've had some light snow around this morning and through the afternoon, but more is on the way. We're going to jump ahead into tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, and watch the snow from Winter Storm Inga come through Boston, and we're going to continue to see some heavy amounts of snow. But then as we move into the overnight hours into early Wednesday, we're going to see this rain move up from the south. So it could change over to rain right in the Boston area and areas to the south, but up to the north and to the west, up around southern New Hampshire and across Worcester. It should stay in the form of snow for you. In fact, some places across New England and upstate New York, that's where some of the highest amounts from snowfall totals will be. So again, we're going to watch this system come closer to the northeast. And by tomorrow, we'll see it go, or really continuing across Pittsburgh. Late tomorrow night, we'll find it around the Philly area. And then by Wednesday night, or Wednesday morning, rather, we'll see it around New York. And again, right through New England is where we could be measuring up to 8 inches of snow from this winter storm. In fact, here's a look at how much snow we'll see. Lighter amounts or lesser amounts farther to the west, but right into this area shaded in pink and purple, that indicates anywhere from 5 to 8 inches around New England. Chris?
Meanwhile, Winter Storm Inga is going to bring a wintry mix to parts of the south that are not used to seeing these types of impacts. One of those places, of course, the Lone Star State of Texas. Look